explosion of people using the often cheaper and easily accessible compounded versions of the popular brand name drugs under the category of GLP-1s. Back with us is Ashley Hamilton and her mom, Natalie, whose family lost a combined 229 pounds using these medications. They call them life-changing. But our next guest had a very different experience and was featured even in the New York Times about people overdosing on compounded semaglutude. Take a look at her story.
In 2011, I was in the best shape of my life. Unfortunately, I got the news that my son, who was serving in the Marines in Afghanistan, was killed. I stopped working out. I stopped eating healthy. I stopped my exuberant joy of living and went into a deep depression. And sure enough, from 2011 to now, I looked at the scales and I had gained 30 pounds. I really felt like I had lost control. I was looking at social media and seeing celebrities that were older and had lost a ton of weight. Almost every article said it cost about $1,000 a month. So I wrote it off until I find these weight loss meds for $225, $295. And when I saw that, of course, I clicked. You know how when you get a package in the mail and you are absolutely out of your mind with excitement? That is exactly how I felt when my weight loss medications arrived. Ripped it open. I'm pulling out the syringes and I'm pulling out these tiny, tiny little vials of medication where you cannot, at least I cannot, read the type at all on this without a magnifying glass. And so I draw the medicine up to number 5 and I give it to myself. That started a pattern of me feeling horrible and nauseated. Every 45 minutes, I am now in this violent vomiting episode. It's the kind that rattles your entire body and your ribs are hurting. It was 2 days of me thinking I was going to die.
Becky Whitestone is here with us now. Thank you so much for joining. First, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Of your son, and that is really the beginning of, as you said, this change in your life. You gained 30 pounds, you were dealing with your depression, and here now you get an opportunity to try to reset a little bit. That box you described, I think everyone can understand. You get this in the mail, you're like, okay, here we go. You noticed that you couldn't read the label clearly.
Right. First of all, my husband's a physician, and he didn't want me to do this.
So your husband said, don't do it.
He didn't want me to do it. He would never say, don't do it.
Very smart husband.
He's married to a marriage therapist. Like, I have trained him. You know, so because he was against it when the package came, I just went in a room by myself and ripped that thing open and pulled the instructions out.
Right.
Y'all know about that, like hiding price tags.
I think I have some shoes in my car right now, honey. We understand. So you get here like, okay, coast is clear. Let me go in here. I'm going to rip this open.
Yeah.
The difference is when you buy the brand name, it's pre-dosed injectable pens. When you get the compounded version delivered, it's a syringe and, as you mentioned, the active ingredient, but you have to read the label.
It's an itsy bitsy vial. Seriously, it is tiny. And so it didn't matter what it said because I can't understand. I'm not a science person. I could not understand the cc's and the milligrams and the units and all the confusing stuff. So I take out the directions and I'm trying to get this right. And I remember the voice in my head said, maybe they're wanting you to take a whole syringe of this. And then I was like, surely this isn't right.
Yeah.
So I look and I go, well, I think it's telling me to take like five units.
So you were just like, I'm going to wing it.
I was winging it in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I put the stuff in the syringe and inject myself and return to the couch for my nightly ritual of watching television with my husband. And about an hour and a half into it, I started going, oh man, I'm feeling nauseated. And I'm not the kind of person that gets sick.
Yeah. So you knew instantly it was
Well,
what you'd injected?
Let's just say I highly suspected.
Right. Right. And so, as you said in your video diary, it's like every 45 minutes this was going on. I should make a point. It's important, as we're being told, to do your research on these online compounded pharmacies to make sure that they are legit and that you are actually getting the drug you're ordered. If you do choose to go online, read all the directions carefully. And if you can't read the directions, that means you can't read them carefully. So you did wing it. You did. And you got sick. You said every 40. How long did it take for the illness to end? Because you were violently ill.
I was violently ill for 2 days. I was sure I was going to die. My pets were holding a death vigil on my bed. Even my cat, who normally doesn't come to bed, was in bed. And I said, well, this surely must mean I'm going to die, you know? And so for 2 whole days, and my husband would just come in the room and go, you look pitiful. Pitiful.
But you kept using them.
Well, you only inject yourself once a week.
Once a week.
So at this point, I had taken it, and I had, you know, I wasn't due for another one for about,
1 more week.
For 1 more week.
So when the next week came, what happened?
Well, you know, I had been, by this time I'm feeling better, and I have been researching it. My husband now, who is a physician, has been researching it. And I decide that I really need to lose this weight. And I decide to continue it with my husband's oversight.
Right. With the right dosage.
So he's looking, he knows the CCs, he's an anesthesiologist.
Okay.
So he knows all about dosing up meds, and he's a very safety conscious person.
So for you, how you continued after with the right dosage?
I took it with the right dose.
Did you get the results you wanted?
No, I have not. I've been on it for about 21 or 22 months, and my goal was to lose the 30 pounds, and I have lost about 10 pounds, 10 to 15. It fluctuates.
You're not going to go anywhere. We're coming back to find out why you're not getting the results you want. Ashley, Natalie, Becky staying with us, joining us. ABC News contributor Dr. Alok Patel breaks down what we need to know about the compounded GLP-1 drugs that are cheaper and online. We'll be right back.
Are y'all ready for the show? Join the Tamron Hall Show audience. Go to TamronHallShow.com. Welcome to the Tamron Hall Show.